Hopefully you've read and you have reviewed, of course, the textbook, and you have looked at the IBC code book. But this is fire protection systems. Okay, in the IBC code book, you need to look at Chapter 9 of the IBC, and then, of course, in your textbook, it is the Chapter Fire Protection Systems. So let's kind of dig in. There are three divisions of fire protection systems, and that's detection systems, alarm systems, and extinguishing systems. And you need to kind of know the difference between those because it makes a difference on fire prevention. To kind of give you an overview, we have been talking about rated assemblies. That's kind of the first step for controlling the spread of smoke and fire, and it's referred to as passive systems. Now, this particular chapter kind of dictates once a fire is detected, it's kind of the second or another level of fire protection activity system. It is the main objective of all this, of codes, is occupant safety. Right, so passive systems, remember that focuses on prohibiting and containing the fires, and referred to as prevention systems. These elements considered passive because once in place, nothing else has to occur for them to be a part of controlling the fire. Parts of passive system is fire and smoke barriers. We talked about our quarter walls, of course, having ratings, partitions, horizontal assemblies. We've talked about opening protectives, through penetration protectives. They're like fire stops, draft stop, dampers. We're going to learn later on about finishes and furniture, how, of course, we have to use that so they do not contribute to a fire. They, of course, can stop the fire. Then you have active systems. They have to be activated in order to work against the fire. Example would be all types of detection systems, like fire alarms, communication systems, detectors that we have, extinguishing and suppression systems, and emergency lighting. So the best way to protect occupants, you know that there is a fire as early as possible. Allow more time to contain the fire. That's, of course, having those hourly ratings that we've been talking about. Allows time to remove occupants, giving them enough time to get out of the building. And then detection systems are meant to recognize the first signs of a fire. So remember, our fire protection systems includes detectors, alarms, and suppression or extinguishing systems. Not all are required at the same time. Codes determine the level of fire protection required according to the type of occupancy that we have, the use of the space that might be there, and the size and the height of the building. So we may not have all of our detectors, alarms, and suppression and extinguishing systems utilized in every part or in every room or every space, but it depends on the type of occupancy, the use of space, and the size and the height of the building. So fire protection systems, they're automatic, they're manual, and sometimes there's a combination. Depends on the system and the particular code that's required for that occupancy classification. Fire protection system standards, building codes, fire codes, life safety refer to a number of standards that are published by NFPA. That's your National Fire Protection Association. The standards specify locations, design details, installation requirements, as well as testing standards that must be followed. Building codes, fire codes, life safety codes refer to a number of the standards published by NFPA, and the standards, as I said, specify locations, design details, and you will see this in the textbook on page 278. And these testing standards have to be followed. So they're giving standardization so that we know that we get the same type of fire extinguisher system no matter who manufactures it. It meets those certain standards. So common NFPA standards for the fire protection system, there's quite a few, as I said in the textbook. The NFPA 10 is for portable fire extinguishers. The NFPA 11 is for the expansion foam that may be required for low, medium, and high. NFPA 12, standard for carbon dioxide extinguishing systems, and the list goes on and on. Please refer and get to know those particular systems. So I hope this has kind of helped you kind of overview of what's going on. So keep reading and listen for the next part 2.